The first 2 years, so from 2014 to 2016, I did speak up from the lowest level, moving up. And within 2 years' time, I actually made sure that the highest levels of the Coast Guard actually had knowledge of what was going on. And because I had actually previously worked for a cabinet secretary, the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security, I actually informed him in person, actually in his office. And so it was clear to me after 2 years that me being as vocal as I could using the chain of command and not seeing any results. And specifically, what I saw were my allegations being swept under the rug. I saw very high ranking admirals, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, who had knowledge, who were complicit, who were overseeing these investigations that chose to really abuse their power and sweep my case under the rug instead of doing the right thing and investigate them with impartiality towards truth and justice. So it was miserable. And after those 2 years, that unfortunately led me to experience a suicide ideation. And that's really was the lowest point throughout this particular time period. And that was also the time period when I really asked myself, which path do I want to pursue? Do I want to stay, right? I had a distinguished career up until that point. So do I want to stay and be my full authentic self at work and serve? Or do I want to leave, right? And maybe go work for another employer or work for myself? Or maybe there's a third option. And I chose the third option. Stay, be my full authentic self. And part of my full authentic self is also my integrity and my immense compassion around dignity and self-worth. And so I did all of those things. And so I chose to stay, to shine a light, to say, we deserve better, we can be better, and we must be better. And I dealt with all of the consequences that came with it. And some of those consequences were actually good consequences. There's never been any justice in my case, but there certainly have been positive consequences that have come as a result of speaking up. But the first 2 years, I would not wish any of this experience upon anyone. But being at my lowest point, it really forced me to evaluate what is really important in my life and how do I want to optimize and maximize the air that I have in my lungs. And I always say I'm lucky. I work with a lot of survivors and families, unfortunately, of non-survivors who have died by suicide. So I carry those stories with me every single day. And I say I'm lucky. And as long as I have air in my lungs, I'm always going to use that to advocate for eradicating these types of injustices.
BrainLine is powered in part by Wounded Warrior Project to honor and empower post 9/11 injured service members, veterans, and their families.